Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to continue our playthrough of Oathsworn into the Deepwood. We're moving into the first encounter. We did the story missions before, and if you're interested in seeing that, I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. If of course you don't want that spoiled and just want to see how this all transpires for the encounter, this is the video for you. We'll start by setting up the encounter and all the different rules that go about doing that. Then we'll be actually looking at our encounter we're going to be facing. We're going to place all our miniatures on the board, get them all set to go, and then we'll be able to start. If you're looking at how to set up your characters, I did that in the story missions of this game, so you can also check that out from the exact same video that, again, is linked in the description of this one. There's a lot that goes on in Oathsworn, especially during the encounter part of this game. If we do make any mistakes, I'll be putting subtitles here, and if I don't have the subtitle there, please check the comment section. I'll be putting a pinned comment for all the potential errors that could happen once this is posted. With that said, let's dig into this encounter. If you're excited to see if our characters, which is the priest, the blade, the penitent, and our archer, can take on the first encounter, then I need you to meet me at the table. In the story moments, I do want to mention that we were able to get through the story and give ourselves a unique item, but that's only going to happen after we're done with the encounter. Moving to setting things up, we're going to take out our encounter board and place all the dice on it. So we've put 6 on each one of these little areas that this broodmother has. Next, we'll take the stage card for the broodmother. We're looking for our first encounter here, and we'll take them and in reverse order give them a truffle shuffle and place them down. This is what the monster is going to do to you as you continue through this encounter. So you're going to place number 3 at the bottom first, then put number 2, and the last deck is going to be number 1. And as this monster takes damage, it's going to have some of these cards are going to be removed. You're going to notice right over here on the stages, it says stage 2 triggers when the broodmother loses 2 health dice, or stage 3 when it loses 4 health dice. So if there are still cards here, when this triggers, we'd remove whatever cards are left for that particular stage and just set them aside and start with the new ones. Continuing over to the special rules card for our broodmother, it does have an ability called Release the Brood. It says place 3 giant rats adjacent to the broodmother in hexes closest to the rear that have no characters in them. If there's no empty spaces, hexes adjacent, place 2 rats 2 hexes away instead. Then rats move and attack at the end of the encounter phase. This is going to be the amount of damage that the broodmother is going to be drawing from her might cards, which I have right over here. The broodmother, or I should say whatever you're encountering, has its own set of might cards, where the Oathsworn have their own set of might cards. You don't intermix them. Each group has their own set of cards. This particular encounter is going to have 2 defense, and the way that works is you're going to be using that number divided by however much damage we do, and that's how much damage you're going to do to it. You'll see how that all works. This broodmother does have giant rats that have a white and yellow or card. It's going to be cards for the monster. It always is. That's what the rules recommend, so that it keeps a little bit more balanced. Oathsworn, though, of course, could choose either cards or dice to use when deciding how they want to attack. These rats are going to move 6 to the target, then it attacks, and if it only has only 1 health, rats are immune to all broodmother attacks unless specified. So if we can at least do 1 damage to these rats, they'll just die. They have 2 defense as well, and that's all the stuff we find on our special card here. At this point, we're going to look at our encounter book to see how to set this up. Our broodmother is going to be in the middle with some rats out there. We're also going to have 5 trees, and this is where our free company is going to start. So let's get that all out onto the board. I did get a chance to paint up all the trees. They're all set to go. I think these look really, really cool out on the board and ready to fight. I do have to put out my Oathsworn. We have the blade. The blade is going to be one of our Oathsworn. These were all voted on by my Patreon. If you're interested in making decisions for our games, please check out the link to my Patreon in the description of this video. We get to place them anywhere along the bottom here. These 4 places here, or these, was it 4 places, or these 3 places over here. I'm going to put the blade, I think, right here. We'll put I do have the next character here. It's the Penitent. The Penitent, I think, will stand right next to him. We do also have the Priest, again, voted on by my Patreons as well. We'll put the Priest right here. They'll all kind of hang out together. And then I have my Archer. The Archer is right here. This character also looks really cool. I'm pretty impressed with how these all turned out. We'll put her right over there, or maybe even behind the tree. I think is where it could go. It could go next to the tree or behind the tree. I might even have this tree in the wrong spot. Oh, I think I do. I think it's supposed to be rotated that way. That's the deal. And this one also has to be rotated different. Sometimes it's a little hard to figure out exactly where all this stuff goes out on the board, but I think that is a better way. So now you can kind of hide behind that tree. In this game, line of sight is only blocked by obstacles. The enemies and your heroes do not block line of sight. With those out on the board, we're now going to place our Broodmother. Now, sadly, I apologize. At the time of this recording, I yet did not get the Broodmother's base painted yet, but at least I have her painted up here. I think she turned out pretty good. She has all these little sores and stuff, so I had some kind of blood and ooze kind of paints I could use on it, which looked really neat. This Broodmother, I think, turned out pretty well, and it's got all of its different rats all along the back of it here. This thing is going to be placed right back here against this tree. I think it's going to fit right there. Or is it over one? I think it might be right there. I'll have to take a look and put exactly where it is according to the book. We do have it right in the right spot. The last thing I need to do is place out some of our giant rats that we have as well. So I did get a chance to paint up all of these rats. These rats look pretty cool. They're all different kind of colors. I kind of did that based on the colors that she has here. There was no color scheme for these. This is just what I chose to have the rats look like. The facing in this does matter. So if you notice, this would be facing in that direction right there. And it is written like that on the board. Actually, it's going to be right here and here. And our final one is going to be next to this tree behind the Broodmother, facing straight down south. That is how our enemies are all set up. We have our Oathsworn ready to go, and I think we're ready to start our encounter. Before we do start the encounter phase, there are a couple things I did forget. The first one is we do have to reveal the card, which is a really interesting system. You get to see what this thing potentially can do. I guess our Oathsworn are trained to at least understand the enemies that are coming at us. So if we look at our card here, it's an acidic maw. Maw dripping with slime. The Broodmother lashes onto her target's armor, masticating them with acidic saliva. So the first thing it's going to do is release the brood, which we've seen over here on this card. So it's going to be placing those 3 giant rats down. Then it's going to move 5 towards its target, and it's going to attack. Now notice this teeth symbol. If we're ever able to remove the dice that have to do with this teeth symbol, it's going to severely hurt how much damage this monster can do. But of course, right now it's at full power. The character loses 1 armor for each health lost. Mark this with a tracker token. This lasts the rest of the encounter, and then it's going to move 4 northeast. So all that is going to take place when it comes to the encounter phase. The only other time that you would be dealing with one of these cards is if you're ever able to break a location by removing a die. That would instantly trigger the card that you see on top. And after that card's resolved, you'd put another one out. Another thing we have to do is we have to check our character sheets. All of our character sheets during the story moment, we're able to color in +1 defense tokens. And these are permanent tokens. So each of our Oathsworn, or I should say Free Company, are going to be gaining 1 of these tokens that they can use during this battle. Tokens do not carry over into future missions. So if you don't use them, and you die, that's something that shouldn't have happened. So just make sure you know that you should try to use these whenever you can. And carrying them over isn't going to help you. The last thing we have to do is add up all the defense on our items. We have 3 here from our pig iron coat for our priest. So we're going to grab a token and place it down to show how much defense that character starts with, which is 3. It should help a little bit. Our penitent is going to get 4 because he also has a buckler, which is going to help a ton. Our blade also has the exact same armor as our priest. It has one of these pig iron coats. And lastly, our ranger up here only gets 2 because of the, faded flax, or tattered, flax garment. Only 2. So we'll place that 2 here. And if you're wondering how she only has 5 health as opposed to the other ones that all have 6, I guess you'll have to check out that story video. Looking at our turn order card, the first part is going to be the refresh phase where each character gains an amount of animus equal to the regen value. At the very beginning, everybody just gets to regen all they have, but as the story goes forward, you might gain more animus than you're able to regen. Each character rotates all cards at cooldown position 0 back into their hands. Well, of course, we haven't taken any actions yet, so we don't have any, but you'll see how that works as we go through the playthrough. And then we'll move into the Oathsworn phase. So for the time being, all of our characters have all of the animus available to them, and we're going to now start doing our actions. Oathsworn takes it in turns to move and play one ability card. Oathsworn take as many turns as they want before passing. Things you can do in your turn: you can play injury cards, move 1 hex per animus spent, play an ability card for the animus cost, or play as many item cards and combat tokens as you wish in each turn. I'm going to choose the Penitent to go first. The first thing he's going to do is take one of his animus tokens and just move it to the spent side to move up 1 space. I know, it doesn't seem like much, but I kind of have a plan. We'll see how it goes. The next person that's going to go is our Archer. Our Archer is going to also spend 1 animus to move 1 space to right here. At this point, now we can play as many of these cards as we want. These cards are all unique, and I'll show you how they all work. So each one of these is going to have an animus cost up here, so you're going to have to pay 3 in order to, for example, play Thread the Needle. Once you've played this card, you're going to put it in cooldown position 2. Again, I'll show you that when you get to it. And once you pay the animus cost, you're going to perform whatever action is here. Notice down here, it shows a defense value. If you ever decide to play this once the monsters are attacking you, you'll be able to add that number to whatever your defense is. For example, our priest has a 3 defense. If he played this, he would get 2 defense. Now, of course, he can't because it's the archer's card, but ranger's card, sorry. But just you get the idea of how that works. If you do notice the symbol down here, it does not cost any animus to play this just for its defense value, as you see down here. Our ranger is going to play a card called Long Shot. This card is and this right here denotes it as a starter card. I get +2 range and make an attack. I get to add 1 damage to the attack for each hex of range it takes to reach the target beyond range 4. An example, if the target is at range 6, I get to add 2 damage to it. I could also just play this card to attack, and this attack costs however much animus it says here, which is only 1. So if I decided to, I could play this just as a 1-cost animus to attack. I could also use it as a defense if I want to, but I don't want to. We're going to use it as Long Shot, as stated here, for 4 animus. I know it might be a little bit difficult to see on this board, but we're going to be able to shoot this 6 spaces, and we have to shoot something that is we have to shoot at whatever's closest here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can shoot either this space or this space. So I can either shoot the head or I can shoot the flank. The flank are these 2 spaces here. The head is right here, and of course the rear is in the back. I'm going to shoot the head. We're going to shoot this square right here with this card. We'll place the Long Shot card into cooldown area number 1, and it'll cost us 1, 2, 3, 4 animus, leaving her with only 2 that she could use to move around if she wishes to. She does have this bow where I could extend the range if I wish to, but what I'm really more important right now is showing you that I get 1 yellow might cube, which is right here. So when we go to make our check, I get to use 1 yellow die, which is a better die than the white dice, which is normally what everybody uses at the start of the game. Some of us get these little yellow ones. Then I can choose as many white ones as I want to roll. Of course, you don't ever want to roll too many, because if you roll 2 blanks, that is a fail. Being the first attack of the game, I'm going to roll actually some more dice than I probably should. I'm going to use 5. I do have a lot of reroll tokens, so if things go really bad, I could use one of my reroll tokens. Oh, look at that. We did 2, 3, 4, 5, but notice we've got 2 blank ones. Anytime you do have 2 or more blanks, that means the attack has failed. So at this point, we are going to use one of our reroll tokens that I have, and we're going to reroll 1 die. Oh, check that out. So we got a total of 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage to it. Plus, if we remember our card, I'm going to get 1 damage for every range we shoot over 4, which is 2 more. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Shooting the Broodmother right in the face for 9 damage is going to be taking the amount of damage you do and dividing it by the defense. The defense for this creature is 2. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So you do round down when it comes to damage. So this is going to take 4 damage. It goes to 2. I have not destroyed the location yet, so I do not have to worry about it triggering an attack yet. We're going to keep on continuing with our Oathsworn, or I should say, sorry, Freya Company, and see how much more damage we can do. The next Oathsworn to activate is going to be the Blade. The Blade is going to spend 1 animus to move forward 1 space. This is going to be pretty fun. I think we're going to have a good time with this character. I'm going to then use this Charging Boar card. Let's take a look at it. Its cost 4 animus is going to go into cooldown position 1. Move 3 in a straight line. If you move adjacent to an enemy that you are facing, you must stop moving. And attack with knockback 1. This attack only takes place if the card caused you to move at least 1 hex. If you're in your boar stance, add 2 damage. Let's go take a look at the character card to explain what this boar stance is. The blade has an ability here called Blade Stance. You are always in one of 3 stances that correlate to your cooldown positions. If most cards are in 0, you're going to be able to pick any. If your most cards are in 1, you're going to have Boar. Then we have 2 for Viper and 3 for Ox. Which stance you are in depends on which cooldown position has the most cards. If 2 or more tie for the most cards, you may choose between them. Stances are determined just before the ability is played. So since I'm playing Charging Boar, I first have to figure out what stance I am in. And since I don't have any cards anywhere on my board, that means that I can pretty much choose whichever one I want. So I'll take 0 as any. So I'm going to be in our Boar stance, which means I'll place my card right here in cooldown. And it does say that I have to choose between them, and stances are determined just before the ability is played. So I'd have to choose. So if I played another card, say I played 1 and 2, I wouldn't be able to pick the Viper stance because I would have to pick the stance before that card is set into the cooldown. But since there isn't any here, like I said, I get to choose. So we're going to use Charging Boar as the Boar stance. So we're going to charge right at this monster. 1, 2, 3, and we're right in the front. So again, we're going to attack the front of this monster. Looking at our might cubes up here, I do get 1, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but remember, I don't have to roll dice. I could choose cards if I want. I believe I mentioned that at the beginning of the encounter phase, but I'm always going to be rolling dice for my free company just because it's super fun and super fast and super neat, but I do have to be drawing all the cards for the enemies. So whenever it says anything about drawing cards or redraw tokens or things like that, do know that it also means re-rolling as well. So I'm going to be getting 1 for my might stance, and then I think I'm going to grab 2 more dice. I only have to do 2 damage to the front to break its position. And I already do 2 damage with my Boar card here, so I really only need 2 more damage because 4 divided by 2 will be the 2 I need. Let's roll our 3 dice and see how it goes. I only got 2. That's not quite enough. I'm going to use my reroll token. He also has 3, just like everybody else, to reroll our yellow die. Let's see how it goes. I got a 2. That's perfect. That's 4 damage. That's exactly what I need to break that location. Having broken this location is going to trigger our card. I do have the bottom here. It does say knockback 1, but when a location is broken, all the other things that this card could potentially do is stopped, unless it has to do with giving tokens to other characters or even themselves. But any type of knockback or bleed or any other status condition would not happen. So instead, we are going to trigger Acidic Maw. So it's going to release the Brood. We're going to put out some more Brood. Then it's going to move 5 and it's going to attack its target. I have to place out 3 more of these giant rats, and I have to place them as close as I can to the back one there. So I'm going to put 1 here, then I'm going to put 2 on either side here. If there's ever a moment where you're not sure you need to place something, the rules of north then west come into play, and you'll probably see how that works as we go. Now, of course, this Broodmother is right here, ready to take this guy on. To figure out how much damage this is going to attack us with, we look up here and it looks like it's going to be 2 red and 3 yellow. Though if we look at the Acidic Maw card, it is attacking with this symbol here. We have exposed that die on the encounter board. It's right here. Since we've exposed that symbol, that means it's going to lose one of the more powerful cards it has. Red are more powerful than yellow, so it's only going to draw 1 red card and 3 yellow cards when it makes its attack. Now before we flip these cards, this is when I can choose if I want to add any to my defense. We're going to use this card right here. It's called Roll, but I'm not going to use it for anything here except for its defense value. So it's going to give me +2 to my defense. I'm going to place it here in cooldown 1, which will allow us to battle flow anything in there over to its lower stance, which is going to be 0 down here. So now this is in 1, this is in 0, and this will come back to my hand during the refresh phase. Do keep in mind that when you use cards for defense, it does cause battle flow, but items would not cause battle flow, and either will injury cards, but we're not going to be seeing those because I haven't lost anybody yet in this game. Returning back to our cards, we're going to see how this all transpired. This Broodmother has done 3, a miss, Another miss. Oh my gosh, look at that. It did 3 damage total. And I have 5 defense, meaning 3 divided by 5 is less than 0, or less than 1, and you round down. So this Broodmother did absolutely no damage to me. So if we can continue to look at this card, it says the character loses 1 defense for each health lost. I lost none. That was absolutely fantastic. Now these are going to go into the discard pile, which I'm just going to slide down over here, and there will be shuffled back in once these are all empty. We're going to take this card, we'll place it in the discard pile and flip over our new stage card. Now this will be the one that happens during the encounter phase. Again, releasing the brood, move 7 towards her target, attack again with teeth, and then move southeast. It says here, gnaw. You glimpse the endless hunger behind her eyes as she bears down on you. There is one more thing we still have to do with this card, and that is has to move 4 in the northeasternly direction. 4 in the northeasterly direction will send it off in this way. We'll see if we can move this character the way we're supposed to. It's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 up to here, but it can't place its base there because this is an illegal place to place it. So if an enemy ever hits the side of the board, it's going to reflect off of it. It's good. So the Broodmother is going to move 1, 2, 3, and then 4 to here. So if we place our Broodmother's front part right here, or it's going to be actually right there, just like that, which means it will crash down onto this obstacle, destroying it just like that. If there was anybody else in this area that it landed on, we'd push them out of this square. And if there is any obstacles, whenever a large creature ends its movement, it will destroy them. So that's why this is totally gone now. The Broodmother is quite a ways away from all of our characters. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any more attacks in on it. So maybe I'll just try to set myself up for the next, the encounter phase. This person is going to get absolutely swarmed by all these rats, so I need to get some other characters up here to help absorb some of that damage. Not to mention, this thing is going to come running in and attack the closest person. Though I want you to be aware that whenever you break a location, the target will always be the character that has broken that location, even if it's somebody else is closer. If it can't make it to the target that broke the location, then it would attack the closest one instead. Of course, it wants to actually take out somebody. We know this Broodmother is going to come in, attack something over here. If not anything, it's going to be him. And then it's going to move southeast in this direction. We know that from the card. So why don't we try to set up something? He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to right there, using all the rest of his animus. I haven't used the priest at all. The priest is going to move up 3, and I think that's about all the priest can do. He doesn't have any other cards that are going to be able to potentially help out anybody. So he'll be all set for the next round. This person has 2 left. I might as well use 1 to move up, and I think that's going to be it. He has 1 left as well. I could move him back 1, and hopefully he can take all the hits, which is kind of what we're hoping for because he's our tank. But I think he's got 3 defensive well. Maybe he can at least take some of these rats in on him, so he doesn't get not only swarmed by the main creature, but also those rats. I think that's going to be our plan. We still have Animus left, but sometimes you don't have to use everything you've got. Well, you know what? Let's move our priest up 1 more, just like that. The Oathsworn phase is complete, so we'll move into the encounter phase. We're going to draw and resolve the top stage card, activate our minions, and then turn the next stage card face up. You notice I didn't activate the minions during the reaction because it doesn't happen until the encounter phase. The first thing we're going to do is release the brood again according to this card. So we'll take 3 more. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of these out here. And we're going to place them as close as we can to the back one. There's 1 placed directly behind it. Then we have 1 placed over here. And we're going to have to place the other one over there as well because these 2 are already occupied. That's the end of that. Then we're going to move 7 towards the target. The target is going to be the closest character. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I guess 1, 2 would be closer. So it is going to move towards that character, and it's going to move based on north then west. So since its front hex is going to be right here, it's going to either move, it's going to try to get to this character. So it's going to move north, or it's here or here. It will move here. Then it will move straight south because it's on a path straight to him. So it's going to end its movement right here. And that means these are going to be pushed out. This one is going to be pushed north, then west, which would be over there. And this person's going to come crashing down right there, attacking our pennant, which is exactly what we wanted. He is a penitent, not a pennant, as probably I should say his name right. We're going to use this intercession card as 2 defense, giving him a total of 6. This attack will again be using the front part here, so it's going to have one less card draw, so it's only going to get one red, which is a 4 and a critical. Enemies never draw on criticals, but in the flip side, as you saw with 3 blanks, they never miss as well. So we got 4 plus, oh, another blank. Then we got 2, and we give one more card for 3. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And he has a total of 6 defense, so 9 divided by 6 is going to be 1 damage. Now I could have used my token here after the cards were drawn, but that would only bring me to a 7, so that's not really going to help that much. This character does have a power that says penance. For each damage you lose, I get to gain 1 empowered token. So I'm going to place that right here. That allows me to gain some, or I get to advance cards, and I'll show you how that works probably pretty soon because I might be using it. At this point, this character is now going to run southeast 3 spaces. It's going to move, and it's going to move 1, 2, 3 right to here. And it's going to face in the direction it runs from. So this creature is pretty cool as it actually runs and attacks and then runs away so that all its brood can come running in and trying to take us out. Because now it's time for our minions to activate. And this could be a really daunting task with a lot of creatures out on the board. These are going to target the closest person. So this person is 1, 2, 3 away. This one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the closest one. So it is going to move towards this one. So it could move in one of these 2 areas. It's always going to move the most north direction. So there we go. It's going to choose north then west. So this is the north square. And then it's going to choose north then west. It's going to choose this square, and that's where it's going to stop. Now this one can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one can go 1, 2, 3, 4. These 3 are going to be the next ones to move. We'll start with the most north then west. That would be this one is the most north. 1, 2, 3 to right here. It's just going to, whoop, let's see if I do this right. Most north is going to go here, then straight down like that. These 2 then are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the most north then west character is right here. If this person had no enemies on it, it would actually go for this one because of a rule called the mob rule. It would actually go after one that's already being attacked. This one is going to move here, then it's move most west, and then it's going to move down here. This one now is going to activate 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 to right there. This is the most west and north character, so it's going to move right down into here. Now we have to see. We have this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares away. This is the most north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares away. This one's going to come straight down onto that one. Then this one now is going to activate because it is the most north. 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here. And it's going to attack the one that's most north then west, which would be him. Now these other 2 probably aren't going to be able to get to me, which is going to be great because you can never move through another creature on the board. There is no line of sight restrictions except for, of course, our obstacles, but movement still has to abide by the fact that you cannot physically move through anything on the board. So this one here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of down and around, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and up and around that way. So it's going to come all the way down this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stopping right there. It cannot get to anybody else. These over here, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to run around this thing here to try to get to people. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I may have moved some of those wrong. This is a really complicated system, but it's really easy once you get the hang of it, but of course it is still easy to make a few mistakes here or there. Once the movement is all done, we are now going to attack with our minions. I've got 4 attacking the blade and 2 attacking the penitent. The priest is going to come and save the day. This says right here, before damage is drawn against a character within range 3, the character gains 3 defense against the damage, but you lose 1 health. So we're going to put that into slot 2, bring this down to 5, and now the pennant, or sorry, not the pennant, the blade has 6 defense. These giant rats are no joke. They're going to attack with a white and a yellow card for each one attacking. So sadly, I'm a little worried about this yellow deck because a lot of the misses have already been taken out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to take 4 white cards and see how much damage the blade takes. I'm really kind of worried about this. We'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 cards there. Oofda, this is a lot of cards. Oh no, let's see what happens to our blade. We've done 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my gosh, 10, 11, a miss. 11, 12, 13, and another miss. So 13 damage. 13 damage against my character would be a total of 2 health points that I would take because I have 6 defense right now. So let's see if we can do something about that. I could spend this to now give myself 7 defense. 7 divided by 13 is now only going to be 1 damage. And I think that's going to be the best way to go here. So we'll tick our die down to 5. That's not too bad. We're able to stop a rat swarm from devouring us. With all the cards going on, I did miss this. I could have played this. After you lose any damage from an attack by an adjacent enemy, make the same or another enemy lose 1. I could have done that to the Broodmother to have her lose 1 health. Instead, though, I'm going to use this as a 1 defense and place it into cooldown slot 1. That gives us a total of 5 defense for the Penitent. Let's see if we can survive our attacks. There's only 2 coming at him, so we're going to grab 2 yellow cards and 2 white cards. And again, I'm really kind of afraid of those yellow cards because, well, after all, I've used a lot of those misses at the beginning. So we got 2, 5, miss, 5, 6, 7, which is going to be just enough to crack through his defense of 5. So we'll lose 1 health, and again, I could have maybe saved that and played it now to kill one of those rats, but that's okay. I do get another Empower token because I took at least 1 point of damage. So he's got a lot of tokens. We got to start using him. We've come to the end of the encounter phase, so we're going to reveal our next card that is going to be for our characters here that we have to deal with. Encourage. The Broodmother wills her offspring to close on the prey with a frenzy of gnashing teeth. So it's going to release the brood with an extra rat, yuck. Then move 3 northwest. Then each rat gains 1 extra might card until the end of the round. Place this card in the encounter board until the end of the round as a reminder. And it's going to be the same as the highest one. So we'll get multiple yellow ones. Yuck. All right. I'm supposed to place the encounter board. I'm going to place it over here. Hopefully we'll remember. We'll have to move that when we release the brood, so I'll remember hopefully that card is there. Now that we have completed that, we're going to go to the end of round phase. Occasionally there, where certain effects are triggered or ended. There isn't anything that's going to happen for the end of the round, so we'll move right into the next refresh phase. So at this point, we'll regen all the animus that we can, which is going to be 6. All of our characters are going to go back to full on our animus. Then we get to rotate all cards in cooldown position 0 back into their hands. So this is going to go back into my Blade's hand, and that's the only one that's going to get its card back. All the rest of the cards are still going to stay out there for our characters. There are an astronomical amount of rats out on the board. Let's see if we can take care of some of these. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 animus for my priest in order to use Righteous Advance. Pay any amount of animus, move 2 for each paid, but the movement must be in a straight line. So I'm going to move him 1, 2 to right there. That clears up 1 spot for our Blade. Our Blade has the Winnoning Strike. It says area of effect. This targets all adjacent hexes. If you are in Viper form, gain a redraw on this attack once and apply to all targets. I'm not in Viper stance, I'm in Boar stance, but I do get to attack everything around me. This is going to go into cooldown position number 2, which would now be able to trigger myself into Viper stance. But remember, I have to figure out what I'm in before the card is played. So if I'm able to hit everything around here, that's going to be all, but these 2 squares don't have anybody in it. The reason I moved the priest is there is friendly fire in this, and so I didn't want to hit the priest. So I'm going to attack these 4 rats with that character. These rats only have 1 health, so I'm going to use my yellow die and 2 white dice and see how it goes. I got 3 plus 2 is 5 and a blank. This thing could explode, but it's really not going to matter because they only have 2 defense. So 5 divided by 2 is going to be way more than the 1 damage I need. And I get to resolve the damage for all the characters around me. That didn't do any damage to the Broodmother, but being able to take out 4 of these giant rats, I think, is going to be a big deal, especially since they're all going to get extra might dice or might cards when it comes to attacking. Let's see what our Penitent can do. He's also got a card similar to what I just did with our Blade. He's got this sweeping ability here. Area of effect, this targets up to 3 adjacent hexes in your front arc. If you kill an enemy, then move 2, attack once and apply to all targets. So I have to pay 4 animus for this. I also had to pay the 4 animus to be able to use our Winnoning Strike as well. I forgot to do that. But we'll pay our 4 and attack. I think this will be really good. So let's remove our 4 animus and see what we can do. And of course, to just tell you, these would be our two flanks right here. This is our front arc going that way, and this would be our back arc going this way. We paid our 4 Animus, and we're going to put this into cooldown 2, which is going to battle flow that card over to there. Sadly, our Penitent doesn't get any yellow dice, but I'm going to use one of these tokens right here. This is our Empowered token, and it allows to upgrade your might cards or dice up to 3 times. So white would become yellow, yellow would become red, and red would become black. That is the order in the power of these dice or cards. I could upgrade something 3 times. So I could turn one white die into a black die if I want. I could turn a white die into a yellow die and another white die into a red die if I wanted to. I could even turn all 3 of these white dice into yellow dice if I want to. And I think that's what we're going to do with our Empowered token. So we're going to roll 3 yellow dice and see how we do. Oh, look at that. 3, 6, 9. Boom, boom, boom. These rats all go down, down, down. That kills these 2 rats right there. And according to his card, after he's done, I believe he gets to move 2 spaces. If you kill an enemy, then move 2. So I could move 2, and I think I am. I'm going to move right there and right here. So I could maybe take the attack again from that Broodmother and maybe some of the rats that come out as well. Oh, to take the rat attacks, I might need to go to right there. So we're going to stop right there. That'll be good for him. Our Ranger has a really cool ability here that says tree running. If you're adjacent to an obstacle, you may spend 3 Animus to move up to 7 to another hex that is adjacent to an obstacle. Obstacles and other characters do not block this movement, and you do not count as moving through intervening hexes. So we're going to pay that 3 to go tree running. She's going to tree run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to right there. At this point, she's going to try to take out those rats. From where she is now, she's in perfect position to use her multi-shot card. This is a card that states you may only play this ability if there are no enemies adjacent to you, and there are none adjacent to her. This attack targets up to 3 enemies in your front arc. Attack once and apply to all targets. Ignore the highest value card unless all targets are adjacent to at least one of the other targets. So if in my front arc here, I've got this, this, this. These are all in my front arc from here. It's going to go in a V in that direction. So it's going to hit the Broodmother, this one, and this one. And since they're all adjacent to each other, I do not have to worry about losing my highest card. This is going to cost 4 Animus, and it is one of her more powerful cards. It's going to go into cooldown number 3. We're going to go in guns blazing with 3 white and a yellow and hope we do well. We got 2, and look at this, we have 2 misses. The first thing you do is you do roll your critical before you see what happens. Oh, and got nothing for the critical. We'll just remove that die. She again still has some reroll tokens. She will use one of them to reroll the yellow die. And that one went on the floor, so let's try again. That one's also a miss. So I could use yet again another reroll token. You can use as many tokens as you want on your turn, but these are all of her reroll tokens. I was really hoping not to have to use them all like this, but we did a total of 2, 3 plus 3 is 6 damage. 6 damage is going to do 3 to the flank of our Broodmother. It's also going to take out these 2 rats. They're both dead, leaving us with only one of them on the board. That was really good cleanup. The Blade has 2 Animus left, so what he's going to do is spend 1 to play this card, which is just his normal cut, but I'm going to use it to battle flow 1 card. I really think I want to get this card back, so we're going to battle flow it over to there. I'm then going to use my last Animus to move myself up north 1, because this thing's going to come tearing back this way, so if I can get next to it again, maybe I can make a big attack against it. The priest has a lot of Animus left, but there isn't really much he can do with it. I could move over here and attack with my card that I have that only costs 2 Animus to attack with, but I really want to save this card. It's a really powerful card that's going to be able to help us out. So I'm just going to move him here, so he's kind of within 3 squares of everybody, so he can maybe use some of his cards that have to be within range 3. That's going to cost us 2 Animus, which is kind of funny. I think he's almost back to where he started from. But we had to use the 1 to get out of there, or he would have gotten attacked by the blade, which is kind of funny. But before I move, I think I'm going to be smart. We're going to play our heavy blow card and pay 1 Animus here to heal our Penitent back up to 5 because I was adjacent to him before I moved. And then we're going to have to go down 1 on our priest, down to 4, because he likes to hurt himself a lot. It does say on the card that 1 adjacent character gains 1 health and you lose 1. So we're going to do that and put it into cooldown spot 0. I also want to mention that when you do pick your hands for every game you go into, you always have to have this card in your hand because it's one that can do multiple things, and it really is one you always have to have, I believe, is according to the rules. And since everybody's battle flowing cards, he might as well battle flow them as well. He'll pay 1 animus to battle flow this card to here. Getting that card back I think would also be really good. Now if I ever play a card in this 1 slot, it'll battle flow every one of these cards back down here, so that's something we might want to do. Maybe we might use it as a defense card. At this point, we'll now trigger our enemy card. It's going to release the brood with 1 extra rat, so let's start there. It's going to always start from the back hex here, so it's going to be right here. This one comes out first, then the most north, then west, which will be right there. Then this is going to be the closest to that space, and then again, north, then west will be up there at the top. That's the end of that. It's now going to move 3 to the northwest. So it's going to turn and move 1, 2, 3, ending its movement right here. It's going to push this rat, I guess, all the way. It'll push it back 1 to right there. It did not crash into this tree yet, so it's still just going to stay right there. It's not going to attack anybody, so super glad I put this guy right here to take the attack, because I totally forgot it's not going to attack. But we do have all these rats. This rat is going to move, it's adjacent to him, so it's not going to move. Then it's going to take 1, 2 to get to there, and 1, 2, 3 to get to her, so it's going to move right there. The next one is going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and with the mob rule and the north by northwest rule, this is going to be the target, 1, 2, 3, 4 to right there. This one is going to come running all the way down and target our archer right there. Then we have 1 more rat. And that's this one. And it's going to move 1 to target that one. Even though that's more north, this is still the closer enemy. These rats are going to come at us with ferocious fury. I don't want that happening. I'd like to play a 1 card to be able to help get those cards back to me, but it's the 1 card I have here in the cooldown slot for defense is only going to give me 1. I just can't deal with that. I have to do something else. We're going to take this 3 defense card, giving me a total defense of 7 against an absolute monstrous amount of might cards. He's being attacked by 3 rats. So we're going to grab 3 white cards, 1, 2, 3, but we're going to grab 6 yellow cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to take our discard pile, and we're going to give that a good old truffle shuffle here. And after we're done giving it a truffle shuffle, we'll place another card out there for our penitent to have to deal with. All right, I think that's pretty good. We'll put 1 card there. Let's see what we have. This is, make sure you got the numbers right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, here we go. Okay, he's got a total of 7 defense. We might be able to help him a little bit. We'll see how this all goes. A blank, I love to start with that. Then we got 3, 4, another blank, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He got 12 damage against him from those rats. That might not be too bad with his defense. With his defense being 7, he is only going to take 1 damage. I'm super excited about that. I do get to gain an empowered token, so I'll place that there, and we might be using it very soon. She only has 2 defense, but I'm going to play this card that gives me 1 defense. Being able to bring that back down, I think that'll be really good. Her long shot's a really good card. I'm only going to get 1 extra defense, so she has 3. She's only being attacked by 1 rat, so hopefully that'll be enough to help her out here. That's going to be 2 yellow cards and 1 white card. We've got 1, nothing, and 2. 1, 2, 3. She's only going to take 1 damage. I could use my defense token if I want to give her 4 defense, meaning she'll take nothing. I think I'm going to do that. She's going to take nothing. No damage is good damage. The priest has 3 defense, and I'm not too worried about him taking a hit. So we're just going to take, he's only got 1 rat on him, so he's going to take 2 cards and 1 white card and see what befalls him. Hopefully some misses. 2, 5, 6. Okay, maybe the 3 wasn't a good idea. I think I will use my token to make it a 4. That way we're only going to take 1 damage, bringing us down to 3. The minions have activated, so we'll check out our next stage card. It says Gnaw. It's another one of the, we've seen Gnaw before, so we know what that one is. I'm going to put this into the discard pile, and we'll go to the refresh phase. Moving into the refresh phase, we're going to gain back all our animus and get our cards in the 0 slot. He does have a power here that does state if you have 3 health or less, gain 1 health at the start of each refresh phase. So he's going to go back to 4. So I don't really know how this character can die unless he gets hit by a real big attack. Or I guess maybe an entire swarm of rats could probably take him out. Our archer will get all of this stuff back, plus she'll be able to get this back from her hand during the refresh phase, and the other person and the other people also get their cards as well. The first thing we're going to do is the penitent is going to pay 1 to battle flow 1 card. I'm going to battle flow sweep back to here. Then this card's going to get played, battle flowing this back into my hand, giving me the ability to play sweep, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it right there for 4 animus, being able to hack apart all those rats. He's in a perfect position to hack all those rats to pieces, and he's going to use his empower token to empower 3 white dice into 3 yellow dice again. That seemed to go pretty good last time. Let's roll up and see what we get. We were only able to hit for 1 damage. I've got a mountain of reroll tokens for him, so let's reroll one of these yellow dice and hopefully get something better. We got 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we did 1 damage, which is enough to take out a rat. I can't believe I only got 2 on 3 yellow dice. Those 3 will be removed from the board, and then we'll see what we're going to do next with our characters. Our ranger is going to go next, and she's got this cool card called Quick Shot. For only 1 animus, I can attack, but it must be on a minion. So we're going to use that. It goes into cooldown 2. That's going to cost us 1. We're going to shoot the rat right next to us, and I'm just going to use 1 yellow and 1 white dice. And we got a total of 4, and that's enough to take out the rat. That will remove this rat from the board, which is exactly where I want to go. So I'm going to spend 1 animus to move over to there. The next thing I'm going to do is thread the needle. I'm able to, let's see here, it says you can choose to target any hit point die on the enemy. If you choose to attack the enemy's rear, whilst in the enemy's rear arc, add 3 damage to the attack. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to target the rear 1, 2, 3, 4 squares away to this rear corner right here. Or it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 squares away to there. I get to choose. I will choose the rear area and make my attack. Sadly, I am out of tokens, so the only thing, I'm going to choose 1 yellow and 2 white. I think that should be good, because we're already doing 3 damage. Should we go with 4 dice? No, I think we'll just go with 3. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully we don't miss this attack. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage onto the rear. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5, so we're going to round down to do 4 damage, leaving the rear with only 2 damage left. We'll then place Thread the Needle in number 2, which will battle flow this card down to here. And I believe that's all we're going to do with her. We did have to spend our 1 to move. We have to spend our 3 to play Thread the Needle. And I think that's about all I got, because all the rest of her cards cost more animus than I have. I could use this card right here, which allows me to battle flow a card if I wish to, which might not be a bad idea. I could battle flow Quick Shot. Oh, this is going to be a good idea. I'm going to battle flow Quick Shot. Check this out. I'm going to be super tricky. I'm going to battle flow Quick Shot, and we're going to pay 1 animus for that. So we'll battle flow it to number 0. Then I'll drop this card down, and it'll be able to then battle flow this back into my hand, which now I'm going to pay 1 to play Quick Shot, which will battle flow this card to here. And that's an awesome way to get another attack on a minion. There's just one fatal flaw in my plan here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 away. So that means I can't actually hit because I only have a range of 4. So we're going to not be able to do that. We are still going to battle flow our Quick Shot back into our hand, but we're not going to be able to replay it, leaving us with 1 more animus. So I am going to use that animus to just move 1 square this way, and now we've used all our animus, and we're just going to return this Quick Shot card back to our hand. I'm going to use the priest to move 1 space to right there, which means he'll be able to attack the flank. And the card we're going to use is going to be Pillar and Path. It's going to be able to gain either a reroll or a shield token and make an attack. And that's what we're going to do. It's going to cost us 4 animus, and it's going to go into cooldown slot number 1. Placing this in the cooldown slot number 1 gives us our card Righteous Advance, to move down to number 0 there. I'm then going to pay 4 for that Pillar and Path, and I'm going to gain a shield token. I think at this point, hopefully we can crack one of these places open, and if it can attack him, using that shield token will be really, really good. I have 3 reroll tokens with him, so we're going to go for gold here. I get my 1 might die. It's yellow due to my Great Maul, but then I'm going to use 4 other white dice. Let's see how this goes. They all turned into 1s. Oh, wow, that's absolutely amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. That's really only going to do 2 damage to that location. I was really hoping for more. I could choose to use reroll tokens to reroll some of these, but damage is damage. Actually, this one isn't helping us at all. Let's use that. Let's use a reroll token and see what happens. We'll maybe get a better number. We got a 2. 2, 4, 6. That's enough to do 3 damage to that. That's not a bad use of a reroll token. Interestingly enough, it is this flank that we just hit. It's going to go down to 3 if I can find it. There it is. Our blade is going to go next. He's going to do something really tricky here. I don't know if it's a good idea. We're going to give it a shot. It says here, somersault. Place your figure in the hex on the opposite side of an adjacent enemy. And any character in the hex suffers knockback 1 or 2 if I am in, was that bull form, I believe? If in any direction. I am not, I'm in boar form. Target, then I attack, and target the enemy you leapt over. If you're attacking the enemy's rear, the attack gains empowered 3. I will not be getting my empowered 3, but I am going to leap over this guy to get to the exact other opposite area, which is going to be right here. So I leapt right over him, somersaulted, which is absolutely cool, and it's super neat, and I'm going to attack this guy now. We'll place our card into cooldown area 2 here, and I'm going to roll 1 white, yellow, and 3 white and see how it goes. I get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to do 3 damage to that flank. We'll remove the die from this location because we actually somersaulted right over it. We have destroyed 2 sections. We have broke them. That does mean we are going to go to stage 2. It states right here. Stage 2 triggers when the brood mother loses 2 health. And during a reaction, that is going to happen. The order in which things take place during a broke location is that we're going to check the encounter board for special rules. There aren't any for breaking a location, but if the stage changes, discard all the cards from the previous stage of the stage deck. Then, if the stage deck is empty, I'm going to reshuffle the stage 3 cards to discard pile to form a new stage deck. The next thing we're going to do is then do our reaction. So interestingly enough, we are not going to get Gnaw. We're going to remove all the other 1s from there and grab the number 2 that is on the top. And we'll see what this one does. Encourage. Release the brood with 1 extra rat. Move northeast 3, and then each rat gains a might card. So this is very similar to the last encourage card. So that actually might not be too bad, except we're going to, well, we don't have too many rats out there. I'm going to place a cube over next to those so I can remember to take those 3 cards instead of 2 when the brood attacks. So breaking this guy's location wasn't too bad. Let's release the brood and move it northeast. Our 3 giant rats are going to go into these 3 locations here. Then it's going to move 3 northeast. So it's going to go straight through our blade. 1, 2, 3, and land right here. The blade is then going to pop out over in that area over there because it's going to be in the most northeast or north then west because he was standing in this square right here, so it's right in the middle. That's going to be the end of that card. Let's check out the next one. We'll take this one, put it in the discard pile, and we'll grab our next card, Burst. With baleful eyes, the brood mother fixates on one of her young. The pup withers, boils, and bursts in noxious cloud. Release the brood. Move 3 northwest. She then bursts the rat closest to an Oathsworn. As it dies, it creates a toxic cloud template on its hex. This will cause any enemies in the area to suffer an attack from the brood mother immediately and at the start of every encounter phase. Max 1 per round. The toxic cloud remains in play. Oh, that's going to be absolutely terrible. We got to try to take out these rats. For one more animus, I am going to battle flow this card down to here, put it in there, or put it into the battle flow 0, put that down, and battle flow this back into my hand. I'm not going to be able to use it now, but it was kind of cool to be able to get that card back. That's going to be the end, I think, of all of our characters. I do have 2. I think I might move. I'm going to use 1 to move. I'm going to move 1 right here. The reason I'm doing that is because there's a lot of rats on the board, and this way, when they do come, they can maybe have a couple attacking this instead of all swarming all of our other free company members. We'll now move into the encounter phase, so now we have to activate that card right there. If we're going to release the brood and move 3. Oh, it's going to be northwest, too. It'll put its brood right here, these little rat dudes. 1 here, 1 there, and also 1 right here. That's where they're all going to fall. Now it says burst. It's going to, what is it? She bursts the rat closest to an Oathsworn. It dies, it creates a toxic cloud. So the one closest to an Oathsworn is actually this one right here, because it's always going to do the rule of north then by northwest. So this is the most north enemy, and it has one right there. So that is going to be the one that bursts. We're going to place out our template. Interestingly enough, it's going to, oh, we have to move northwest 3 first. So if we pick this character up, it's going to move 1, 2, 3 to right here, blowing this up, but it can't fit there. So it's going to have to move differently. It's going to have to just move, how are we going to move this creature? It would reflect off this. So 1, 2, 3. It's going to end up right here. That's where it's going to be, and it is still going to destroy this. I think I moved him correctly. Again, movement sometimes can be a little interesting in this game, and I'm hoping I'm doing as much right as I can. Of course, if I'm not, then you'll read about it in the pinned comments. This one is going to blow up, and it's going to put a noxious cloud right here. It's not going to affect any of the actual rats, but it will affect my character. He is now going to be attacked by, just like as if it were the brood mother here. This attack doesn't have any of the actual symbols for what would be able to lose one of the dice here. So instead, it does attack as if it's the broodmother, right? Yes, this will cause any enemies in the area to suffer an attack from the broodmother immediately and at the start of every encounter phase, max 1 per round. So he's going to attack by 2 red cards and 3 yellow cards. 1, 2, 3. At this point, I need to play some kind of defense on him or things could go bad really fast. We're going to play, I think we got this one. Yes. I'm going to play Sliding Cleave. It's going to give me 3 defense going into 3, my cooldown 3rd area. That is going to give me a total of 6 defense. Let's see if that is enough to help him out. Oh my gosh, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, blank. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I have 6, so I'm going to be taking 2 damage. Oh my gosh. Well, I am in luck. I do have a longsword. After damage is drawn against you, you gain 1 shield against that damage. And this is going to go into cooldown 1, but is not going to cause battle flow. I'm going to use that item. So now instead of 6 defense, I now have 7 against, how much was it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So now I am only going to take well, let's see here. It's still going to be quite a bit. No, it's not. Actually, I was able to bring it down to only taking 1 damage. So I'm going to go from 5 down to 4. It's now time to activate our minions. We have 1 adjacent here, 1 adjacent there. The next one's going to only need to move 1 to be able to attack that person. This one is only going to have to move 1 to attack that person. This one down here will move 1 to attack that, and when you can choose whichever square you're supposed to go to. You're always supposed to take north if you can. This one, on the other hand, is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's 4 in both directions. 1, 2, 3. It'll always choose the northmost person. So it's going to move up over there. So I have 3 on the blade, 2 on the penitent, and 1 on the priest. Somersaulting over the rat might not have been the smartest plan on the planet. I am going to play my other 3 card here just to gain this 3 defense. It's the only thing I can do. I don't have any other tokens or any other ways of giving myself more defense. And my other characters that could potentially help me out are too far away to help out the blade. With this extra token here, we are going to be drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have to shuffle up my discard pile now. I hope I put all those misses on top. At least that would help me out a lot. So let's grab all of our yellow cards here, give them a good old truffle shuffle, and hopefully get some misses up on top of that deck. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let's roam around, give them a truffle shuffle. Come on, I need some misses up on top where the blade is going to be in a world of hurt. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I'm being attacked by 3 rats that get an extra might card here, or dice here, or whatever you want to call these things. And 1, 2, 3 white ones. Okay, let's see how this goes. I only have 6 defense. I know only. This sounds like a ton, but it's not really in this game. Oh my gosh, there's already most of it. 3, 4, 5, a blank, 6, 7. Oh, look at this. 8, 9, 10. Nothing. 11, 12, 13 divided by 6. That means I'm going to be taking 2 damage, bringing his damage down to the health total down to 2. That's super low. I'm going to play my shield bash here just to get my 3 defense. We'll then battle flow this card over to here. Our penitent is running dangerously low on cards for him to really even be able to do anything. I only have 1 card left. But remember, this card will always come back to you, so you do have at least that card to be able to play. I'm being attacked by 2 rats, so I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 from them, and then 2 from these white cards here. Let's see what the white cards are. 1 and 1, so that's 2 already. Oh, it's already not looking good. 2, 3, 4, 5, nothing. 6, 7, 8, nothing. So I have 6 defense. No, I have 7 defense, which means I am going to take 1 damage. That will tick his die down to 3. The priest has 1 rat on him. I'm not too worried. I'm not even going to use any cards to help him out here. I got 1, 2, and 1. Well, maybe I will. Hold on. I'm going to use this card right here for the Penitent. Before damage is drawn against a character within range 3, you may move 2 toward the character. If you are adjacent to the character, they can use your item card's defense instead of their own items against the damage. They continue to use item abilities and defense cards as usual. I'm going to do that. Basically, all I want to do is battle flow those cards, which is more or less why I'm doing it more than anything else. But that means our priest is going to get 4 defense instead of 3. And I can move him 1, 2 to right here, so he could be right next to that Broodmother. I also did take damage, so I should have gotten an empowered token. I missed that. I'm going to grab an empowered token and give it to my Penitent. Now with 4 defense, let's see if that helps us out. I got 3, 4. Nope, still took 1 damage. So our priest will go down to 3 damage, but we'll be gaining that right back during the refresh phase. With the encounter step complete, we'll discard this card and draw another stage 2 card. We have Mother's Meal. She gave life, she can take it away. Release the brood, move 7 towards the farthest rat, and consume it. Then remove this from the game board. She then gains 3 health to her most damaged location. This cannot restore broken body parts. It's going to move 4 to her target and then attack. Oh, it's going to eat and then attack. Wow. It's like a snatch and grab. It's going to snatch, grab, eat, and heal and attack. Going into the refresh phase, everybody's going to gain back their Animus and all the cards that they have in the 0 position. Our priest is also going to heal back up to 4 health. We're going to start with a quick shot from our archer here. She's going to use 1 Animus to attack the minion. We're going to choose that one right there. This will go into cooldown slot number 2. I only need to do 1 damage, so I'm just going to roll 3 dice here. We got plenty. We got 3. That's a critical. I could keep going, but there's no need to because it only can do 1 damage. Or only needs to take, 1 damage. With this minion off the board, our priest is going to spend 2 Animus to move over there. So he's down to 4 Animus and she is at 6. He is then going to play Desperate Prayer for 2 Animus. This says I can select a friendly character within range 3 and perform a basic check. The difficulty of this check is equal to the character's health plus 2, so the check is going to be 4. For each success, they gain 1 health. If they gain any life, you lose 1. A maximum of 1 reroll can be used on this check. So my goal is to at least get him back 1 health. He's the one I am aiming at 1, 2, 3 with this Desperate Prayer. This is going to be a little dangerous. I'm going to roll 4 dice, but I need to get a 4 or better. Oh my goodness! That is so good. I got crits galore. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. I'm going to roll 3 more crits and see how we do here. I only got 1 more. That's okay. We got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. That is, now remember the check was for 4. So every, I guess you could say multiple of it, I get to gain another plus to my health. So I'll try to explain this a little bit if I can. So the check is going to be 4. And anytime you go and gain another set of 4, it's going to heal another health. It says for each success. So for every success would be a multiple of 4, if that makes any sense. So I was actually able to heal the blade, not 2 health, but not 1, but 2, up to a total of 4 health now. That was a monstrous roll, and it couldn't have came at a better time. I will place this into cooldown place number 2. And I'm going to battle flow that card over. It's going to cost me 2 Animus, and he does have to lose 1 health for doing that card. At this point now, I am savagely going to kill all of those rats. I am going to use this card right here. It's an area of effect that targets all adjacent hexes. I am not in Viper stance, so I don't get to do a redraw on this, but it is going to hit everything in that area there. We'll pay our 4 Animus and put this into cooldown place 2, moving this one over to number 1. I need to play a 1 card so I can battle flow all those back into my hand, or at least down to the 0 spot so I can get them during the refresh phase. He has a few reroll tokens left, so I'm going to grab 4 dice and see how this goes. I got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get to roll another critical into the die roll. Nothing. I got nothing. Now remember, 2 blanks does not equal a miss when it comes to rolling crits. If I would have rolled another crit on that roll, I would have been able to keep on rolling. These are like exploding dice. It's pretty awesome. Another thing which hasn't happened yet, but is probably going to happen now, is say I did miss and I decided to use like a reroll token on it, and I failed that reroll, say I missed again. So then I use another reroll token on it, and I miss again. That means it totally missed and I would have failed. There is a thing called a determination rule where you gain back all the tokens you spent, and you get to pick a token of your choice that you'll probably be able to use in the next round round of combat. But that didn't happen. I got 2, 3, 4, which means we did 4 damage. So we get to destroy all 3 of these rats, and on top of that, I did 4 damage to the broodmother. And that was to the rear location, so that means this is going to be also a broken location again. That was why I was super excited that I got so much health back, because in case he broke this location, he's going to be the target of this attack. The first thing we'll be doing is releasing the brood, so we're going to grab some more of these and put them out. Now it can't go from the back location because that's where I'm standing, so one will go here, one will go over here, and the last one is going to go up on top, which is going to be out of the camera because it is going to be the most north and or northwest, since there's going to be a tie to either put it here or there to be equal to the back location there. At this point, it is going to move 7 towards the farthest rat, which is going to be this one. So it's going to turn and move, let's see here, it's going to move 1, 2 to this location right here, knocking these people back, and they're going to go west. And this one is going to go northwest, right like that. It's going to go to right there. It is now going to consume this rat and heal itself 3 damage. So the flank is going to go back to a 6. It's kind of sad that that happened. You cannot, it also says on there that it cannot regrow locations. After that's done, it's going to move 4 now and attack its target. As you can see, this thing doesn't need to move at all. It's just going to turn, and the target of its attack is going to be the person that broke the location. Again, why I was super excited to get that 4 health. So good news, bad news. The only card I have left that I can use for defense is this one. It's going to be able to battle full all of these down to here, but it's only giving me 1 defense, so now I have 4 against this huge monstrous attack coming in. The good news is it is attacking me with the front, so it's not going to get that red card. It's only going to get 1. 1 red card and 3 yellow cards, which is still going to be probably enough to do at least 1 damage. I'm hoping it doesn't do 2. That's what I'm really hoping for. We did 3, 6, 7, 8, and I have a total of 4, so I am going to take 2 damage. You always divide it when you take damage. So 8 is going to go in. There's nothing I can do. I don't have anything else. Sadly, I don't have any of the tokens, and my sword is still not able to be gained yet. It's in 0 cooldown, so it will be coming back into my hand after this refresh phase, but that's it. I do have to take 2. That will move the blade down to 2 health, and I am now going to move him 1, 2 out of this ring of cone of death there, so he doesn't have to take the damage on it. Let's see what the rest of my team can do. But before we do, we need to draw our next stage card. I forgot to do that. Let's see what we have found. Maternal Rage. As her pups fall to your weapons, the broodmother's rage builds to a fever pitch, and she barrels towards you. Release the brood, move 7 to her target, attack. Change target to the nearest closest enemy, move 4 to the new target, and attack. Oh my gosh, you're going to attack twice? Oh, that's out of control. Now, if I can do enough damage to this thing, to be able to break off another die, I would be triggering my 3rd stage, so we wouldn't have to deal with this card, because that looks pretty brutal. Maybe we can make that happen. Before we do, I'm going to move the priest 1, 2 with the rest of his animus. He has no more animus left. The reason I'm doing that is if this thing releases the brood, it's going to release the brood to right here, and then it would release it to here, hopefully attacking here. I don't want anybody on the blade. The blade has no more cards that can help him with defense, and he only has 2 health. So our goal is to keep him alive the best we can. I think we have our characters in pretty good positions to try this out. Let's see what we can do. Oh, maybe we should move the penitent. If we move the penitent 1, 2, he would hopefully be able to soak up a lot of these rat attacks from up there. That leaves him with 4 animus. We'll start by moving 1, 2, 3 with the ranger or archer here. 1, 2, 3. Would that be good too? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, that's too far. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. She has to be at range 4 in order to hit. I think I got this right where I need it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It could either target there or there. We want to target this location there. I'm going to play long shot. It says attack. This costs -1 animus. So normally this would cost 4 to play this card. It's only going to cost me 3. That's all the animus she has left, but we're going for this flank. I'll attack with 1 yellow and 3 white and see how it goes. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, which is going to do 3 damage to that flank. It's down to 3. We'll place into 1, which will battle flow these down to 0. I'm going to play my revenge card as 3 animus attack against the broodmother's flank. It's going to cost me 3. It's going to go into number 1, moving guard to here. Just like that, this slides over 3, and we hit him and hope that that 3 holds up. I'm going to empower this attack, bringing up 3 yellow dice. Let's roll them up and see how it goes. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is exactly enough. He only had 3 left in that flank, so we were able to take it out. Since we broke that location, we are going to get rid of all of our level 2 cards now and move to level 3. Let's see what we have to deal with, because I don't know, because it's going to be a super surprise. Tail Whip. Release the Brood. Move her forward to her target, turn and face directly away from her and target. I am going to, oh my gosh, it's going to hit like that. This is actually going to be perfect, because he's the only one that's going to get hit. But look at this. Range 3, knockback 2. This cone attack comes from her rear hex. All right, let's do all of that. The first thing we have to do is release the Brood. We have to put down 3, 1, 2, and then since the priest is there, he's going to occupy that space, so the next one is going to go right there. We'll move 4 towards her target. She's already adjacent to her target. She's going to turn and attack with her tail, just like that. The tail whip comes through. It's going to hit this big cone coming out in this direction, but it's only going to hit the penitent. That was perfect. It's going to cause knockback 2 when all is said and done. So I am going to move him back 2 just to there, since that is already taken care of. The only thing we have to do is the actual attack. This is where I'm going to have to take a risk. The penitent only has 2 cards remaining. It has a no defense and a 2 defense. I am going to play the 2 defense, being able to battle flow these 2 over to there and hope that when the actual rats come and attack him, the 4 defense he has there can hold up. This is attacking with the back, which he doesn't have anymore, so I do get to remove one of the red cards. So like I said, this might have been better to not use that defense card on this attack, but I don't know, those red cards can be brutal. They have a lot higher numbers than these white and yellow ones. Of course, we've gone through our yellow deck again, so we're going to give it a good old truffle shuffle. We're going to put that miss on top here, put it right there. If it is, that'd be awesome, but of course I have no idea. We'll look at the cards that we're going to take here. That's going to be the 4 cards. And, oh man, all right, he's got 6 defense right now. He can't take any damage here. 2, nothing. Come on, nothing. And 4, yes, he took absolutely no damage because he has more defense than even any of those things we're able to do. Now comes the pain. We have to deal with all these giant rats. I've been doing a pretty good job of keeping them at bay, but I've really been going strong at this guy right now, so we'll see how this all plays out. We'll start with, this one is already adjacent, so that's the closest one. This one is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2. It's going to move over there. This one is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They're equidistant, those 2. It will go after the one that's not only already being has one adjacent to it, but also the most west. So that's this one. This one will also move 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. It's going to turn and attack this one because he is the closest. He's going to move more north, more north. There we go, just like that. I believe I did that right. Next, we've got this one down here. This is the most northwest. It's going to move 1 and 2. To be most north would be right there. 1, 2 right there. This one then will turn and move 1, 2, 3. This one will turn and move 1, 2 to right there. I think we did that correctly. This person's being attacked by 3, 2, and 1, and 1. Okay, I think we might be able to handle these attacks. Hopefully, we'll see how it all goes. I'm the most worried about the ranger with only 2 defense, so she is going to play her Child of the Forest for the defense cost, not for the top part. The top part is pretty cool. Before an enemy selects a target, you cannot be the primary target of an enemy this phase while you are adjacent to a tree, and she's not, so I wouldn't be able to do it. But even if she is, that's a pretty cool card. But, oh man, especially if you don't have any health left. But if you had a lot of health left, it would be probably better for your team to take the hits, which is what she's doing right now. So we're going to take 3 defense on that. She's going to go down to, or she's going to have a total of 5. So all we have to do is draw our cards. She is adjacent to 3 rats. None of these rats are super rats. So we're going to take 3 cards there, and we have 1 white one, and then we have to give our white deck a good old truffle shuffle here, and hopefully put that miss right on top. We love to put misses on top. Please be a miss on top. We'll throw some cards around there just like that, and we have 1 more card to draw. Or do we have 2? Let me take a look. 1, 2. I need 1 more. 3. Okay, she has a total of 5 defense. Let's see how this goes. She's got 3, 6. Oh my gosh. 6, 9. Oh wow. Miss, miss. 9, 10, 11. 11 divided by 5 is meaning she's going to take 2 damage. So she's going to go from a 5 down to a 3. Now it's not too bad. Next, we have the blade. He is adjacent to one character. The only problem is he has absolutely nothing that can help his defense. Good news is, hopefully, these are going to be really bad cards. He only has 3 defense. There's nothing I can do about this. The only card he has gives him no defense. So let's look at his cards and see what they are. He got 1, 2, nothing. He took no damage. Oh my gosh, that was super good. Let's see who's next. We have our priest. Our priest is also only next to 1 rat. He has 3 health. I don't think I'm too worried about him either being next to 1 rat. So let's see what happens to him. 1, 2 cards here. He is going to take a total of nothing and nothing. So he took absolutely no damage. Oh boy, it's all coming together here. Of course, our last one is going to be the penitent. The penitent also has absolutely nothing he can do. This is the only card in his hand. So he's going to have to take the brunt of 4 cards here. 1, 2. We have to hope this 4 defense holds up. Remember, we weren't sure if it was going to. We used the other defense card against the actual Broodmother's attack. So we'll see how this happened for us. We've taken 2, nothing. 3, 4. That is only going to do 1 damage to us. So we're going to go down to 2 damage on the penitent. Oh, that was great. And he is going to get an empowered token. And I'll place that down on his card there. We're going to get rid of Tail Whip. And we're going to see what our next card is that we're going to have to deal with. And we're probably going to have to deal with it right now, which is kind of sad. Acid Spit. Release the brood. Move 3 southeast. It is going to target somebody within 6, place a toxic template. Oh, no, it's going to be bad. More toxic templates out there. Oh, man, we might lose somebody here because I don't think I have any more animus to be able to attack with. I have no more animus on any of my characters except for 1, and that's the penitent. With his 1 animus remaining, he is going to battle flow one of these cards. Let's see which one gives him the most defense. It's going to be this one. I'm going to battle flow this to right here. I'm going to play this card down and be able to take these back into my hand. We'll start with the Broodmother releasing the brood. This is going to be pretty close to deadly here. It's going to put 1 here, here, and the last one is going to go up in that toxic gas over here. Now remember, none of these affect the rats. According to the card, rats are immune to all Broodmother's attacks unless specified. And I believe that also means the gas that's also going up there. Next, we're going to move 3 southeast. So it's going to move 1, 2, 3 to right here. Then it's going to attack target range 6. Its attack is going to target this character right here. That's going to be the one it attacks because it is the closest. It's going to place a toxic cloud right there on top of the priest. Let's move this character and this one and put it down right on top of that priest. Put this thing back and put this person right here. Oh my goodness, this is out of control. All right, that is super cool. I think it's supposed to go right there. There we go. I might put that person in the wrong spot, not the end of the world. All right, I think that's all that's going to do. Now I do get attacked as if it was the Broodmother. Our priest is going to use Weight of Glory for its 2 defense here, and it's going to be placed into slot number 3. I'm going to be having to deal with 2 reds and 3 yellows because, well, sadly, this isn't using any part of its body part. I have a total of 5 defense right now. Let's see how this goes. Nothing like, oh my gosh, nothing. Okay, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, and nothing. So that means he's going to take 1 damage, going down to 2. Wow, all of our characters are at like the brink of death here. So that's the Broodmother's attack. Now we have to deal with all the rats. We have new rats on the board. This one is 1, 2, 3 spaces away, or 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away. This one will move over there. This one is going to have to move over here. 1, 2. This one then can move 1, 2, 3 that way, or 1, 2, 3, 4 this way. It's going to move 1, 2 right down there and attack the priest. So again, they're all pretty split up. We'll just see if that helps out. Hopefully our defenses hold. We'll start with the penitent. He's going to use Taunt to give himself 3 defense. Now, I could have used this on one of the rats and had 4 rats attacking him and only 1 attacking the blade, but I'm hoping, but then I wouldn't have enough defense for him to hopefully hold up against the attack. So we'll put that down in 3, which will battle flow our shield bash over to number 2. We'll now draw our cards for our 3 rats. 1, 2, 3, and we also get 3 white cards as well. 1, 2, 3. Let us see what we got going for us. He's got a total of 7 defense. 3, those 3s keep pumping up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That breaks his defense to 8. He's going to take 1 damage. He is down to 1 health. Oh my gosh, we're cutting it real close here. The blade only has 3 defense and 2 health. Hopefully he can hold up as well. He's only being attacked by 2 rats. We'll see if these are hopefully the super cards here. We've got super card 1. Yes, a blank. Only 1. Okay. And then we got, blank and 3, so that's 4. He only is going to take 1 damage because he has a total of 3 defense, so he's going to go down to 1 as well. Now, sadly, the one I'm the most worried about, I keep saying the most worried, we're most worried about all of them, is going to be our ranger. Our archer has got 3 rats on her, and the problem is she only has a total of 2 defense, and I cannot increase that. I have nothing that is going to help her. So she's going to be at the mercy of the cards. If I can pull enough blanks to keep her alive, it would be a miracle. I'm going to have to draw 3 of these. I put some white cards in here. That's awesome. We'll put the white one back in the discard pile because these are all in the discard pile. Look at these white cards in the discard pile. Gotta make my discard piles better. There we go. We'll put those over there. These are all yellow cards. I shuffled them up and put them back where they're supposed to go. Let's grab our 3 white cards here. 1, 2. Well, I don't like that one. 3. So that's 1. All right. Let's see what else we got. Nothing. We got. Oh no, that's 3. Oh no, I got 3 cards here. Oh, that's 6. I think that's going to be enough to kill her. Oh, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, she got mauled. So she only has 3 defense, or 3 health left. She only has 2 defense. I mean, she has taken a total of 4. She is out. She is going to be out of the game. So I'm going to remove her miniature from the board. Now, in the next turn, I can bring in an ally from the side of the board to be able to help her out, or to continue the fight. So like I said, you're never totally out of this game. You're able to keep on going. The last person we have to get attacked is the priest, and he only has 2 on him. Let's see what we can do about that. We have Fend. We're going to play this to be able to give ourselves 2 more defense. So we have a total of 5. Against only 2 rats, we probably shouldn't take any damage here, but you never know what's going to happen. We got, oh, look at that, 4 right there. 5, 6, 7, 8. And I've got a total of 3, 4, 5, so I am going to take 1 damage. He is also at 1 health. Oh my gosh, all of our guys are at 1 health or dead. Going into the refresh phase, he's going to go back up to 2 and gain back some animus. He's going to, that's it. That's all he's going to do. He has nothing he can pick up from his 0. The penitent, I forgot to give another token to, and sadly, he's totally out of this fight. I forgot about his shield token too. He probably could have used that to save him from taking 1 damage, but that's okay. He's going to get this card back. Our penitent's going to gain back all 6 of his animus, and he's going to gain 3 cards back from his 0 slot. At this point, I should be putting out a ally to be able to attack with us, but I'm not going to. I think we have enough on the board to take this guy down. Also, I don't have any of them painted, so I don't want to put them on the board. We're going to start with our priest. Our priest is going to hopefully be able to get a pretty good shot in there. Oh, there is one thing I forgot to do. We forgot to advance our deck. So let's see what our next card is. Screech. Release the brood, move northeast. This damages all Oathsworn and allies on the board. For each target, draw 1 white card for each hex between them and the next closest target to them. Draw separately for each target. For each card showing a 2, the target must either lose 2 combat tokens if they have at least 2, or lose 1 health, their choice. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. My guys only all have 1 health. Let's kill this guy. We need to kill him or we're in big trouble. I think we'll start, like I said, with the priest. The priest does have an attack card he can use. It's his Righteous Advance. I know it's used for movement normally, but down here it does say this attack costs 3 animus. So we're going to use it as an attack card going into slot 1 and moving these 2 into our slot 0. I do not have any empowering tokens. I wish I did, but they're all over on the penitent who's kind of out of the fight. I'm going to use 5 dice. We're going to use 1 yellow and 4 white and see how it goes. I have 2 misses here, but first we have to roll in the crit and see what we get. We got another 2. That's fantastic. I've got a reroll token. We're going to reroll one of our white dice here and see how it goes. Nothing. We're going to reroll our other one. Come on, I need to hit here. This is going to be bad news. I need to hit this. Oh, I missed. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, he missed completely. That's 2, 4, 6, 7 damage I left out on the board. Now that means I do get to keep my 2 tokens. They come back to me, and I also get to gain another token of my choice. I'm going to choose an empowering token because maybe I can get another attack in on this guy with what I have left. I do have 1 card I can play here. Since I am adjacent still, I can use my last 3 animus to use Heavy Blow, and that's going to be attack with the priest. Hopefully it's enough. And for this attack, I get to use that Empower token if I wish to, and I totally do. I could get 3 yellow dice. Oh, actually, let's do something better. I'm going to grab a yellow and a red die. Not that red die. We're going to grab this red die, and I'm going to grab 3 other white dice. Let's see how this goes. We're going to power this attack up to hopefully a good number here. Let's get this guy. We got a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's pretty good, but look, I still have these reroll tokens. Let's use them. I got them back because, of course, when you miss, you get all your tokens back. Let's see here. We got another 2. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we can do this because I can... Oh, I can't use this. I do have this club, but I haven't been able to use it yet because it says when you critical during an attack that hits, add 2 damage. Well, sadly, none of these are critical, so I can't do it. But that is 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. The only place left to hit is the core, so 10 damage is -5. It goes down to 1 health. Oh my gosh, it's so close to death. The Blade is going to use his card to hopefully take this character out. The first thing I am going to do is I am going to play Roll, which allows me to move 2. If I'm in Viper, you may move through an occupied hex during the move. You must end in an empty hex. I am not able to do that. I'm not in Viper stance. I'm in Ox stance right now, according to where all my cards are. We'll be able to move 2, 1, 2. I'm going to move adjacent to that. Then we're going to pay 3 Animus, meaning we've played a total of 4. 1 for that roll card, and then 1 for this card, which is going to be our Somersault card, which almost killed us. This time I am in Ox form, so I can actually knock back in any direction. And the target of this, and since, well, I'm not going to be attacking the back, am I? No, I'm not, but that's okay. Basically, all I'm doing is jumping over to this side of the monster and making an attack. I don't get any of the extra bonuses of the Empowered, and any character in the hex that I move to suffers knockback. There aren't any there. Let's see if we can finish off the Broodmother. I only have to do 1 damage. I'm going to use 3 dice. Let's see how it goes. I got 4. Boom! That's enough. I've got a couple reroll tokens, though, still. Let's reroll some of these dice. For the heck of it. Ooh, look at that. 5. We did 5 damage. And that is enough to take off the final die, so our Broodmother goes down. And when the Broodmother goes down, that's it. That is the end of the combat. You no longer have to deal with the other rats on the board. Once the boss is dead, the battle is over. At this point, we would move into the epilogue and then go to leveling up our characters and getting our rewards. But I'm going to be doing that in the next video, and Colin will be joining me there for that video. It'll be super fun to have him as part of it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the combat against the Broodmother. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so we'll see you know when more Oathsworn comes out. Colin and I plan to play this entire epic campaign, so if you're excited to see how this all unfolds, please feel free to check out all of our videos. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, the link to my Patreon is in the description below. With the Patreon tiers, you're able to help decide what happens inside of the game. For example, these characters were primarily all voted on by my Patreons. It was super cool to have them decide what we had to use while we fought this giant rat. And we're going to continue using these throughout our campaign. Those that have already joined the Patreon are shown here on the screen. Thank you so much for your support. It means so much to have that. Another reason I do not want to continue forward the epilogue and stuff is, again, there is a lot of spoilers in this game, and I want to leave a lot of this up to you if you do not want to continue watching this. I don't want to have those spoiled for you. We're going to be moving into the next mission. Like I said, Colin from the One Stop Co-op Shop will be joining me. I'm excited to have him on, as well as being able to continue this fantastic game. If you're excited to see if our Blade, Priest, Penitent, and Ranger can move into the next mission and hopefully take them down without dying. Sadly, our Ranger went down, but that's okay. Look, she's doing okay. She'll come back. It'll be just great. Then I need you to meet me at the table.